Welcome to the DVD Shelf Mini Reviews, where movies are celebrated, not incinerated, in 90 seconds. In 90 seconds, I'll review the 3D remake of the 70s low-budget horror flick, Piranha. Let's start the clock right now. Partying college kids flock to an Arizona spring break hotspot and soon become a sunbathing buffet for a deadly school of prehistoric piranhas in this delightfully gory and intentionally campy throwback to exploitation horror films of the 70s and 80s. Even though Piranha 3D is considered a remake of the 1978 low-budget Roger Corman production, it barely resembles the original with an entirely different story and backdrop. While I'm usually not a fan of horror remakes, with a few exceptions of course, Piranha 3D is an insanely fun ride filled with creative kills and shameless nudity that harkens back to old-school horror flicks with a certain comedic edge. It's easily one of the better recent horror remakes out there, and even though I never did catch it in 3D, I almost wish I had, and I don't say that often. The film playfully embraces the in-your-face nature of the third dimension in ways similar to the gimmicky 3D horror movies that came out of the early 80s, like Friday the 13th Part 3, Amityville 3D, and Jaws 3D. Effects-wise, the digital piranhas actually look pretty terrible. The animation is choppy and they don't fit into the picture at all, which I suppose was done in service of the 3D, but because this movie is so self-aware of its goofiness, I think it actually works. Thankfully though, the digital effects are balanced out with some great practical gore effects from the legendary K&B Effects Group. Lead actors Elizabeth Shue and Adam Scott deliver some pretty good performances that actually make you root for their heroic characters in the film's more nail-biting scenes. Plus, it's fun to see Elizabeth Shue briefly reunite with her former Back to the Future co-star, Christopher Lloyd. If you're a fan of 70s and 80s low-budget campy schlock, then Piranha 3D is about as close as a modern horror movie gets, and it deserves a 3 out of 5 discs recommendation. This is a fun flick. And that was my 90-second look at Piranha 3D. So I'll see you next time, but for now, this one's going back on